Do you want to sound connected as you're soloing over the blues chord changes? In this video, we will learn a movable soloing shape that we can use over each chord. Next, I will break down some blues licks that we can use within that shape. Then show you how to bring this all together so we can improvise a blues solo up and down the fretboard with confidence. You'll want to grab your guitar for this one. Let's get into it. Let's not waste any time. We're going to use a 1-4-5 progression in the key of E using the E7, A7, and B7 or B9. So to connect this movable shape, we'll definitely use a little bit of the E minor pentatonic scale in the open position. But also in the 12th fret, the octave. The shape looks like this. I'll show it on the screen here, but we can use as an extension of the E minor pentatonic scale, this shape, 4 in the G string, 3-5 on the B, and 3-5 on the E string. Just that box shape with this middle finger in there. That works obviously great for the E chord. So we're here for the E minor. 2 frets up. As you go to the A chord, this works really well. It's just the same exact shape, 2 frets up. 6, 5-7 on the B, 5-7 on the E string. I'll break down the licks within these. I just want to show you the movable shapes first. And then the same for the B chord, you're going to move 2 more frets up. So now we're in the 8th fret, 7-9 on the B, 7-9 on the E string. You can hear that B chord in there. But we can use the same shape for the E chord. We're going to go back, for the E chord, we'll go back from major to minor as I show you some of these licks. But in the 13th fret of the G string, and then the exact same shape up here, 12-14 on the B and 12-14 on the E string. So real quick review: E, B, A, E minor pentatonic, and then we can use the octave lower than this E, it's still the same shape. It's easy to go from each one of these shapes as the chord changes. So now I'm going to break down some licks within those movable shapes and how they connect to the minor pentatonic scale. So for the E chord, we can use a major or minor. Minor pentatonic, but sliding up to this little extension is where it's at for me. That is a great lick that starts in the first position, slides to the second position, and uses just an open string, which I like to do. So check this out. Sliding up from 2 to 4 in the G string, hitting 3 on the B string and then open E. Instead of hitting this E in the 5th fret of the B string, you just hit open. And then pull back down from 4 to 2, open, hitting back to the root. The root note is really important as you're going through these. Running up. And then in that little opening jam I did, I hit a little major phrase within that E7 chord. So you're just hitting open B twice, hammering on to 2, open E, and then hammering on and pulling off of this 1st fret of the G string. That is just a really bluesy thing to do. And I really like to go back and forth with those. As it goes to A, you know, we're looking at this next little shape here. Really still riding that E note in this shape. Because of there's an E note within the A chord, so it just sounds great. And you can just hit a, I like to use a half bend here. So you're a half bend in the 7th fret of the B string, release, back to 7, and then back to the root note in the 5th fret. And you can do the same thing, but hitting this first. 5, 7 on the E string. Now I like to do a little hammer on and pull off thing. You'll hear me do that a lot in a lot of videos and my solos. So you're just hitting 5, hammering on and pulling back off from 7. Hitting 6 on the G string, back to that E note. You can do that little lick. This sounds great over the A chord. I'm going to get in more detail on these licks coming up in the last section, and it's coming up soon, so let's get to the B chord. So as the B chord comes up, I know a lot of us just plow through the minor pentatonic scale here, but just using this little shape, so sliding up to 8 on the G, hitting 7 on the B string, and then walking down on the G string at 8, 7, 6, hitting that root for the B chord in the 9th fret of the D string. Slow again. Then we're going to the A chord. You can connect and just wait for that chord. You don't have to be right on the first beat of every one of these chords. Let the chord come to you and play a phrase with this simple shape. So now the fun part, let's connect these ideas and bring them together. I'm going to play through the progression, and then I'm going to break down how I connected these ideas up and down the fretboard. You can add this to your guitar playing today. Start sounding connected. Let's do it. just those simple ideas are fun to play. It's because you are connected. You're not just playing up and down a scale. You're listening for that chord to change, playing a phrase with a simple shape, and then going to the next chord, and so on. You might struggle with this at first, some of you. Take some time. Maybe even do it on with a slower blues rock backing track in E. And I'll leave a link for this track. It's a great track to practice this stuff on. Awesome. Just have fun with it. So for me to connect this stuff together really helps to, that blues groove in this backing track is just the up and down, but it's kind of pushed. So as I'm soloing, I'm really had that groove. I got my leg or foot tapping here. I'm kind of exaggerating it now with the palm muting here, but this is how I get that sound. And as it goes to A, we just take that simple box, kind of just feel it there. Let it hang even a little bit. I'm really just looking for these phrases. I'm popping those in there. And then if you get stuck, you still have the minor pentatonic that you can walk down. As it goes to the B chord, use that box. With every one of these boxes, you can use that little move there. That is just within the box. You're just sliding up to the first note here for the B chord. I'm sliding up from 7 to 8, 7 to 9, and then hitting 7. B note. Great exercise right there. You get that down in time, it's going to add a lot to your playing. Also, within that simple shape, you can use this. So you're just using that shape. But you're sliding up 2 notes just using a double stop here. So you got the shape for the E major here. But you're just sliding up to 13 and 12 here on the G and B strings. Just one fret. And then barring right here in the 14th fret, the G and B strings. And then again, slide up. This move you can do with that shape I showed you. Here you're hammering on with the open string, so you're hitting the G and B strings open and hammering on to that first fret of the G string. Then, and on the second fret, you would bar them. So you can exchange these ideas in every one of those shapes there. That simple shape, I use this all the time. Many players do. and using other ideas also, but that can be a great foundation. Thanks so much for hanging out with me today. This is a fun way to play the guitar because you're not thinking too much, but you are connected. These ideas are connected even without a backing track. You can hear this. You can hear that E chord there. You can hear the A chord. You can hear, and you can hear that B chord. Just using pieces of the minor pentatonic scale, E minor pentatonic, with these little major sounding phrases really gets you mixing that sound together. That's where the blues rock sound really comes from. I hope you got something from the lesson. Let me know, and let me know how I can improve on teaching you some of this stuff. And hopefully we'll see you soon.